Well, with the warmer months ahead, we're going to see just a bustle of activity, if that's a word. And it's all going to be happening in and around downtown. You've got, of course, the Fat Ass 5K, for instance, coming up in downtown Springfield this weekend. Looking forward to that. And at least Saturday, the weather looks like it's going to cooperate. Partly sunny skies. You know, there's those types of events bringing all kinds of people to downtown, but there's also events to help highlight business in the greater Springfield area. And to talk more about that with us on WMAY is former state representative Mike Murphy. I can call him Mike now because he is the president and CEO of the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce. Mike, how you doing? It's good to see you.
Good morning, Greg. Great to see you. And you could always call me that.
Right on. Yeah, no, good to hear. Good to hear. So, you know, I printed out at least some of the events that are scheduled for May, but
Sure.
It looks like it's going to be a pretty busy month for the business community, including the State of the City speech and more. Tell us what you guys got going on.
Right. Well, the next big event we have is obviously the State of the City. That's going to be May 19th downtown at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Hotel. It's going to be from 11:30 to 1. And this is, we have this event every year in which we give the opportunity to the mayor to come and talk about his thoughts about where the city's been and where it's going. And it's very similar to the State of the Union, State of the State that everyone's familiar with. And so we invite people to come down who are interested in what's going on in the city and see what we can do.
So a lot of activity, a lot of buzz out there about getting back to business here, and you know, we're seeming to be at the end stage of the pandemic. I mean, depending on which day it is for Dr. Anthony Fauci, what stage we're in, I guess I'm not sure. But what are you hearing from the business community? Are we roaring back?
Well, in some cases we are roaring back. You know, I think all businesses are faced right now with the challenge of workforce. And, you know, the Chamber's been actively trying to help businesses in filling their positions. We had a job fair recently that was well attended, not only by vendors, but job seekers. But still, it wasn't enough job seekers to fill all the jobs. I had one company there said they could hire 75 people today, and still need some. So there's definitely a gap out there with the available jobs and people seeking those jobs. I mean, we experience that ourselves at the Chamber. We have a membership sales position that we would love to fill. And, you know, we've had a couple good leads, but they just didn't pan out. So, you know, I know it's a struggle. I'm living that myself every day.
So if you know anybody out there that's looking for a job to help the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, I'm sure that Mike Murphy, the president and CEO, would be more than willing to look at an application to get that lined up. If people are interested, Mike, how can they get a hold of the Chamber to make sure they get their application seen?
Well, they can check out the Chamber website, gscc.org. We have a job page there, but they could also just give me a call at the Chamber. It's 525-1173, extension 205. Give me a call.
So we're talking with the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Mike Murphy here on WMAY, and a lot of things to discuss when it comes to business, not just the events that are coming up. Of course, the State of the City speech, that's one thing. People do need to register for that, right?
Yeah, they can go to our website, and there's a very, very simple link to click on and register. But if they have any trouble, get a hold of Melissa Horn. Again, same number, 525-1173. Her extension's 207. Give Melissa a call, and she will direct you the right way.
I do want to talk a bit about some of the other things that are going on, and as far as the events. But let's talk about business. We touched on a little bit. Businesses are coming back. Labor's still an issue. The workforce is still an issue. But you know, we do have some businesses that benefited from grants during the pandemic. Other businesses, not so much.
Right. There are some businesses shut out, and the state's getting ready to start a back to business 2, I guess you would call it. And what it's going to try to do is help those who might not have been eligible the first time, some grants around it, but are still struggling. And a lot of these businesses, and I've talked to several already, opened up during COVID, and so they had no history. And to qualify for the back to business or some PPPs or some other things, you had to have some history. And since they didn't have any history, they didn't qualify. So this will allow them to maybe get some help because people are still struggling out there. Several businesses have rebounded well, but there's still a lot out there who I worry about.
Mike Murphy with us on WMAY. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other events. Of course, you mentioned the State of the City speech, May 19th. You do have to register for that, but looking at the chamber calendar, and I've seen this all over the place, Mike, ribbon cuttings. We've been very blessed. I can go to a lot of ribbon cuttings. I try to make all of them that I can. We have a great organization called the Ambassadors. They're volunteers, they're members, and the ambassadors go to these ribbon cuttings and help make sure that the business get the excitement that they deserve as they start a new venture. And so, we have several ribbon cuttings. We also have a couple good events where I like to attend. It's really good networking opportunities. Is Good Morning Springfield. Our next one's going to be May 10th out at Midwest Missions Distribution Center. And I don't know if, Greg, you've probably been out there before. I don't know if you have or not. I haven't, no.
Oh, man,
no.
You need to go out there. They do amazing work all over the world. Most of it here in the United States, but if somebody needs help, the Midwest Missions, they do a phenomenal job. And so, but go out there, and that's a morning event, obviously, from the name, Good Morning Springfield. And then our next business after hours is going to be May 26th, and it's going to be at West Central Bank. And that's an opportunity to go and learn a little bit about a business, but also talk to other people in the business community.
Just some of what's coming up downtown Springfield, in and around Springfield. You can find more details at the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce's website. Talking with Mike Murphy, he's the president and CEO of the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, and a whole series of events with businesses opening. I mean, and I've seen the ribbon cuttings. Is this an indication that we've got new business investments spurring along? What do you see the trajectory being in the short term here?
I think Springfield. I'm an optimistic guy, and especially when it comes to Springfield and Sangamon County, I think we have a lot of great opportunities here, and I think some of these ribbon cuttings are showing that. A lot of these are smaller businesses that are starting, and that's great. That we have the space for them here in Springfield, and we have the not only the population, our day population in Springfield is amazing. I was recently at a meeting and talked about day population. That's a term I'm not really familiar with before, but the amount of people who come to Springfield to do business, whether it's the hospitals, that's our number one driver. Also tourism. I'm really excited. I'm on the Convention and Visitors Advisory Board, and we have some major events coming down. In the next couple weeks, we're going to have 2,000 young people coming in to do gymnastics at a couple different events, and so we're wanting to make sure all the businesses are prepared for that. So being a tourist center and also a medical district really makes our day population a lot bigger than what it is, and so that's how we can support a lot of businesses.
Well, I know during the peak parts of the pandemic, when there were economic restrictions and capacity limits, the convention space took a hit. I mean, it was pretty brutal just to think about the lost revenue to the businesses, the lost hotel revenue, let alone the lost tax revenue to the city. So do you see that turning around now with more kind of willingness for conventions to get back to going even here in Springfield?
I do. Talking to Scott Dahl, who does a tremendous job down there with the Convention and Visitors Center, he's pretty optimistic. He says that if we get our the people to come from out of state this summer, we're in line to have a really good tourist season. So I'm excited about it, and I don't know if you've driven downtown on weekends lately, but I've been impressed by the number of walking traffic I've seen that I didn't see for 2 years.
Right.
The first time I saw it, I'm going, what's this? And then I remembered, this is what Springfield should look like. But we just didn't for the last 2 years, and so I'm excited about that, and look forward to helping out.
Absolutely. Mike Murphy is the president and CEO of the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce. here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. And again, Mike, before we let you go here, let's kind of go through some of the big events that are coming up that are chamber networking events.
Sure.
But you've also got ribbon cuttings. I see the Orthopedic Center of Illinois has got a ribbon cutting tomorrow. You've got a ribbon cutting for Campo Realty later on this month. Another ribbon cutting for Trailers Direct and more. But talk about Good Morning Springfield, the state of the city, and business after hours.
Sure. Good Morning Springfield. Our next opportunity is May 10th at Midwest Missions Distribution Center. Business after hours is May 26th at West Central Bank. And the big event is May 19th, the State of the City, and it's going to be downtown at the President Abraham Lincoln Hotel.